We had a question in the back with the red.
My name is Claudia Farris. I'm an independent researcher and writer. I want to hear from the panelists what they think about the suggestion that Donald Trump was playing to an audience that did not care what the facts were, that responded only to the narrative, especially as it is underscored by the race issue. I think that had a big impact on the gathering of his audience. And if that is the case, then aren't you continually vulnerable to penetration by someone who is astute at picking up those kinds of divides in the culture?
Any takers on that?
Oh, I just want to say that, I mean, you know, I don't disagree with anything you said, but I think, as I was saying before, I think we're all wired this way, whatever side we're on. So I think that people on the left are also more willing and eager to hear things that may not be true or that are slightly shaded than people on the right. I'm not sure there's that much of a difference. I think the difference in this election was you had someone who was very adept at exploiting that fact and also adept at using the tools of dissemination to get his ideas across.
Do you get a different response, Glenn, from you know, different parties? I mean, do you feel like this is a bipartisan problem, even if it's been more pronounced in the form of Donald Trump? Or
well, I think there have been studies that show that something like, and I might be getting these numbers wrong, so I'll get fact-checked, between 70 and 80% of Democrats trust the mainstream media somewhat, and that number's in the 20s for Republicans. And I think a lot of that has to do with the Fox News phenomenon. This is something Obama has spoken about. But the one thing I would guard against here is our over-reading the results. I know it's been an incredibly dramatic thing that has taken place, but there are a lot of factors. Let us not forget that. I forgot the number of counties, but in a lot of these swing states, the 4 blue wall states, that turned out not to be such a blue wall. A lot of counties that were previously Obama counties in 2 elections flipped for Trump. So he was expressing something, and I think there's no question, if you sort of look at the alt-right phenomenon, that there is a racial component to some of his support. But I think it is a misread to say that that's the only reason. There are people who really wanted change, and there are people who really didn't like Hillary Clinton who aren't racists or sexist. So I think we've got to understand that Trump's appeal, a lot of people, if you look at the numbers, if you look at his disapproval, at the time of his election, it was 57%. So there were a large number of people who went into the voting booth disapproving of Donald Trump, and a higher number who rated him as having low character, by the way, who were cool with that. So the notion that every person who flicked the switch for Donald Trump bought the whole package, I think, is a misnomer, and I think that's where it's going to get interesting.
does that make it more reassuring or less reassuring?